I've released a lot of fragrance collections over the years, and honestly, I've never struggled so much to pick a favorite. Usually, there's one or two fragrances that kind of stand out to me above the rest, at least based on personal preference. This time, not really. In fact, if you took pumpkin pecan waffles out of the equation, because that's a tribute to a popular brand, pumpkin pecan waffles from Bath & Body Works. If you took that out, I don't know which one I would choose out of our custom creations. That is how tough this collection was for me to pick a favorite. And that's actually where the name of this fragrance collection was born from, Fall Hard. Obviously, it's a fall collection, but it's also because I truly think you're gonna fall hard for all of these fragrances, just like I did. So today, I'm gonna be walking you through each of these 9 fragrance oils from the Fall Hard collection, how we came up with each one, why we selected them for this collection, tell you a little bit about each of the fragrance oils, specifically the fragrance notes and so on. Really just my own thoughts on each one. So let's have a little bit of fun. Let's get into it. Now, as you guys know, I really love doing these type of videos. Now, I've done a couple of these recently with some fragrance releases. I feel like we've released a lot of fragrance oils this year, and there's more to come, by the way. But I love doing these fragrance collection releases because you all always have a lot of excitement for them. But this is also one of my favorite parts about running this business is coming up with these unique, complex, I put a lot of time and energy and passion into all of these. So getting to tell you all about them individually, I just really enjoy this part of the process. So before we talk about each one of the individual fragrances, I want to talk about the collection itself. When we build a seasoned collection, we aren't just looking for like 9 random fragrances, for example. And they're not always 9, right? It depends completely on the collection, what we come up with for that theme. But we're trying to build a complete experience. So in this collection, I wanted gourmand, some orchard, a few darker fragrances, some sophisticated fragrances. You guys know how we roll with this brand, with Black Tie Barn and the fragrance collections we release. We really curate them. We put a lot of time and energy into each one, and there's a purpose behind every fragrance oil. So the idea was, yes, not just autumn itself, but a whole story, a whole collection, something we really think you would fall hard for. So the goal was to create a collection where every maker could find something that they loved. And honestly, like I said, I think this is one of the strongest fall collections we've ever released because I'm having a hard time choosing a personal favorite. I thought I was gonna have one, but every single time I think I tell you my favorite, I'm giving someone else a different answer a few minutes later or a couple days later because I truly love them all. And as soon as I pick one up, I'm like, oh, man, that's so good. Like there's a couple surprises in this collection and we'll talk about that. All right, so let's get into one of my, now this sounds stupid saying, but personal favorites, the Smoked Orchard Reserve. Look, I've always loved orchard fragrances, apple fragrances, cider fragrances, anything that smells like orchards to me. But I didn't want just another basic apple fragrances. You guys know us, like I said, you guys know Black Tie Barn. We don't really like to do just a bunch of basic, unless it's just like a classic, right? But we have a couple great apple cider type fragrances already. Black cider, sticky apple, two of those two are two of our best selling fall fragrance oils all the time. This one is a little bit different. This one has orchard character. It's got the apple, it's got some citrus, but it also has that subtle smoky element that's running through it. Almost like you're walking through an orchard and someone's making like a mulled cider nearby and the orchard caught on fire, kind of. Like, we almost called it the burning orchard because it really does smell like an orchard and that apple and stuff, but you get the smokiness too. It's so good. Anyways, it's got apple, it's got spice, it's got some citrus, it's got berries, it's everything that you would think an orchard should have, but it has that smoky backdrop that kind of ties everything together and makes it very, very unique. Smoked Orchard Reserve. Now, the name is Smoked Orchard Reserve. So you're probably wondering, where does the reserve part of the name come from? Well, that's from the fact that it almost smells like something you've had in a barrel-aged cider or even a seasoned cocktail. So it's got that smoky orchard element, but it smells like sophisticated and something you also want to enjoy, if that makes any sense. It's rich, it's layered, and I think it's one of the best all-around and most complex fragrances in the collection. All right, now let's talk about Golden Tobacco. Now, I think this one might surprise some people because a lot of people hear tobacco, especially if you're new to fragrance, new to the industry, new as a candle maker, you hear tobacco and you think immediately cigar smoke. It's not that kind of tobacco. In fact, most tobacco fragrances really aren't like that. This is more about that sweet, kind of sophisticated, very pleasant, warm smell. So like I said, it's not a cigar smoke. That's not this, right? This is warm, it's smooth, it's sweet, it's It's comforting. It's a true tobacco fragrance, but it's softened by, and maybe you're wondering where the golden tobacco is coming from. Well, it's a true tobacco fragrance, but it's softened with some maple, some amber, and some vanilla. Those golden notes underneath, that's where this name came from, and that's what makes this one a little bit more interesting. I've had a few people reach out already telling me that that golden tobacco was amazing, was awesome. So hopefully you guys enjoyed as well. It's rich without being heavy. It's masculine without being too harsh. And honestly, this could easily be a year-round fragrance. I think it's going to be a staple in many people's fragrance collections. All right, caught myself. I'm going to try really hard not to turn my hat around several times in this video because someone in a playful way was letting me know that I did that like 4 or 5 times in the last video. It's habit. Like sometimes I just take it off, turn it around, and other times I don't know. When a hat sits in my head for too long, I like to change it up. Anyways, back to your regularly scheduled content. The next one is mold pear. Now, mold pear starts from a pretty familiar idea. Most makers have smelled something similar, like your spiced pear or your honey spiced pear or your brandied pear. These are well-known, classic, very good fragrances. Well, this takes that concept, which I personally have always loved, and just pushes it a little bit further. And that's why it's the mold pear, because we add a little bit more mulling spices. It's a little bit more complex, it's a little bit more warm. I feel like it's got a better hot throw than some of those other ones I've talked about. Just like the other two, and like most fall fragrances, it is warm, it's comforting, it's sophisticated, it's very, very fall. By the way, if you're wondering, yes, it's very bare behind me. I am working on building out another recording area here at the new location, the new warehouse, and it's still in process, so progress. I've got shelves built, walls pretty much done, thing behind me, but it's really empty still. You can't see the whole thing in here. I'll post some pictures if you follow us on Facebook and everywhere else, but it's coming together. It's gonna be nice. We're actually gonna have some track lighting right here. Hopefully our logo and the YouTube plaque and some other stuff in here, but for now, it is what it is. But based on what you see so far, you guys liking it? Does it feel very Black Tie Barn? Hopefully. The next one on the list is Cranberry Cellar. Now this one actually started as like a cranberry oak. And honestly, that was fine. Like we almost ran with that. It's a very good name. It smells very true to name, but it wasn't, I feel like it didn't tell enough of a story. And the more we were smelling this, we were thinking of like, almost like a wine cellar, but like oak barrels with cranberries, almost like, yeah, I guess like a cranberry cellar. I mean, that's why I called it that. You know, you got your dark wood. It's like a cellar. It feels more unique than just saying cranberry oak, and we thought it deserved a better name. It's more memorable. The fragrance itself is balanced very well between the cranberry and the oak. Of course, cranberry, you're going to smell that tartness, a little bit of sweetness. Now, I gotta say, right offhand, berry type fragrances, cranberry, cherry, strawberry, tend to be very hit or miss, and they're very, very difficult to pull off well. That's why we don't carry a ton of them. When we release them, they've got to be very good to us. We've got a couple bangers. But cranberry, to a lot of people, is going to smell sort of candy-like or artificial. Same thing with cherry and grape. They always end up smelling like cough medicine to a lot of people. And so we were very careful with that. Now, you still might detect that. If this doesn't like appease you, then that's okay. Not everyone is gonna like every fragrance, all right? But for us, this really smelled like a great cranberry fragrance. And with the added notes of that oak and the oak barrel, to us just made this a very well-balanced. I think this is gonna be a very, very popular fragrance in fall. Cranberry fragrances always do well, even though people tend to be picky about them and kind of complain that like cranberry and cherry can always have this kind of artificial smell. They still do so well all the time. So I feel like we're always being a little overly critical on these. And if you're smelling things out of the bottle, keep that in mind. You're getting the top notes jumping right at you, and that they're very intense, very strong. You're not getting the balanced complexity of a fragrance oil. You've got to give it time. And that's why use a blotter strip is going to be better out of the bottle, but actually in product, like a carrier oil or a wax, all the notes work together and balance out, and they're almost always better than straight out of the bottle. So keep that in mind as well. Give this one a shot. It's very, very good fragrance. All right, so the next one, I would say probably the biggest surprise in the collection, and that is Autumn Leaves and Amber. The reason is because most people think they already know what Autumn Leaves is going to smell like. And I've already seen this on a couple of videos and a couple of reviews, and I don't mean that in a bad way. But they open it up thinking, oh, Autumn Leaves, I know what this can smell like. And they're like, what? That's not Autumn Leaves at all. I wouldn't call it Autumn Leaves. It doesn't smell like what I'm used to. That was the point. It's not supposed to. We have a fallen leaves type fragrance. We call it foliage. It's awesome, by the way. Very underrated. But this one is meant to be different. It is a stroll through an autumn park, autumn leaves, but that amber, that resinous character makes this totally different than what you're used to. I thought this would be the most basic, boring, kind of my least favorite fragrance oil, it might be my favorite. And surprising to many of you, maybe, we've already sold more of this than any of the others, which is shocking because they're all so good. But we've had a lot of, we sent out probably 700 to 1,000 samples of each one of these in a couple weeks. This one has already received the most high volume purchase. Now, that could be because 1 or 2 customers bought 5, 10, 15 pounds. I don't know. I haven't looked in the details, but I just know it's leading the pack right now and how much we've gone through so far. Although we've been going through all of them quite a bit. They're all really good. But anyways, back to this one. This is going to smell different than what you are used to with a fallen leaves or autumn leaves or a foliage or whatever that you might be used to when it comes to these type of fragrances. And that is the point. Most of those are pretty similar. This one isn't. And that amber and resin changes everything. It takes a traditional fall foliage concept and just makes it warmer, richer, more sophisticated, definitely more interesting. If somebody would have told me before we tested this fragrance that it would be one of my favorites, I wouldn't have believed them. But here we are. Next up, Copper Kettle Corn is exactly what the name suggests. This one is not as surprising in what the fragrance is, but what is surprising is how real it smells. A lot of kettle corn fragrances smell overly sweet, artificial, almost candy-like. This one doesn't. This is the most true, most real, authentic kettle corn fragrance I have ever smelled, and I am super careful when releasing gourmand fragrances. First of all, they're not my favorite type, but you've got to get them right because they are judged so harshly because people relate them to things that they eat, smells they grew up with in their grandma's house and so on. You've got to get these right. Even out of the bottle it does. It smells so real. If you smelled this in the kitchen, you would swear up and down someone is making real kettle corn and not like overly sweetened or sugary, just like really good, authentic kettle corn. I'm gonna say authentic way too many times, so we're gonna move on. But I'm telling you, this is an amazing fragrance oil if you like these type of fragrances. Seriously, think county fair, harvest festival, freshly popped, warm kettle, little smoke, little sweetness, a little saltiness. That's why we chose Copper Kettle Corn, because it felt authentic. We can't talk about Copper Kettle Corn without talking about the other gourmand type fragrance in the collection, which is cornbread and honey butter. Again, gourmands are not my personal favorites. So this would probably be my least favorite of the collection, but that's just because it's not my vibe so much. I like earthy, woodsy, smoky, sometimes resinous. I love summer. I like florals. I like spicy. I like a lot of fragrance oils. Gourmand just is my least favorite. But again, just like the kettle corn, it smells very authentic. Saw someone post a video the other day. They opened it up and said, how in the world does that smell exactly like a cornbread and honey butter? It actually smells better, like I said before, in product though. When we were making this, I kept going back to the blotter thinking, I don't know, like I smell it, but I feel like it could be better, like more authentic than we used it in product, and it already was. I just had to give it time. I had to be patient. Patience is a virtue, and it's not one I tend to have a lot of. But this is the easiest one to explain in the entire collection because it smells exactly like what it's called, cornbread and honey butter. Some fragrances need stories. Sometimes they don't. This one doesn't. If you like bakery fragrances, you're gonna like this one. If you don't, you probably won't. Now let's move into one that I think is gonna be one of the most popular fragrances long-term in this collection because it is a very high-end, luxurious type of smell. It's a scent that gravitates to a lot of people, and that is cherry wood and suede. This is one of the most sophisticated. It starts with the idea of a smoked cherry wood. Think Lost Cherry by Tom Ford, and you'll kind of get a pretty good picture of where we're going with this one. This has deep notes underneath of leather, tobacco, and suede on top of that cherry wood. So you're going to smell the cherry first and foremost, pretty typical on top and middle notes. Again, sort of like the cranberry. Sometimes people like that, sometimes they don't. If it wasn't for the wood part of this, I don't know that I would like it. Actually, I know I wouldn't like it as much. I don't want to just smell like bright, juicy cherry. This is cherry wood, right? So like you definitely smell cherry, but that oak element, ugh, it's so good. I don't know if it's oak, if it's cherry wood, but you know what I'm saying. It has that oak wood type scent to it. The cherry wood with the leather, the suede, tobacco, it is so good. I think you're gonna love it. Give it a shot. If you're on the fence with this one even a little bit, try it. And like I said, it's one of the most complex fragrances in the bunch. Although they all tend to be, this one is just, it screams luxury and upscale, very wearable fragrance. It's such a good, like all around balanced fragrance. I think it's gonna be very popular. Now, finally, let's move on to Pumpkin Pecan Waffles. This one is our tribute fragrance that a lot of people already know and love. And if you're not familiar with what our tribute collection is, it's our version of a type. So if we're going to try to duplicate or replicate something similar you're already used to from Bath & Body Works or Yankee Candle or whatever, if it's a well-known popular fragrance oil from another company, we replicate or make our version of it, even if it's slightly different. We call that our tribute rather than type, because I don't think type does it enough justice. Type to me sounds like, well, we want to use their fragrance, but we can't call it that, so we're going to put type on the end. Totally fine. Everyone does that. We want to give a little bit more, I don't know, credit to who came up with it first. And so, or at least who has the big name for it, right? So this is our tribute to that. This is us doing our best job to try to replicate a fragrance you all love. So this is our tribute to Pumpkin Pecan Waffles from Bath & Body Works. We didn't invent the fragrance. We did not invent the name. This is simply our version of a favorite. And honestly, you can't have a good fall collection without at least one fragrance in it like this. Surprisingly, I'll say third gourmand in this collection, along with Copper Kettle Corn and the Cornbread and Honey Butter. That is a lot of gourmand for me in one collection, but it's fall. You have to. And we have so many other great fragrances to offset this, to balance it out. So I think this made a lot of sense. Not to mention, a lot of you have been asking for this fragrance. So we did it, and here we are. So there you have it. The entire Fall Hard collection, 9 fragrances. And honestly, like I said, I still don't know which one I would pick as my favorite. If you're gonna force me to, I would say Smoked Orchard Reserve, Cherry Wood and Suede, Golden Tobacco, Autumn Leaves and April. See, this is the problem. This is the problem. I end up getting to 8 and I'm like, what? This is a collection of 9 fragrances and I can rattle off 8 like that. That's the problem. That's a problem. Honestly, I love them all. Even the gourmand ones, which I don't normally enjoy that much, are so good. I truly don't think you can go wrong with this. And that's not me just saying this because we made them. I truly feel this way. I am always honest on this channel. If I don't like something, I tell you. Because just because I don't like it doesn't mean you guys won't. But I really love all these. My least favorite being, of course, the gourmand ones, but still really, really good. I always let everyone know this as well. Be sure to sample first. Now, if you feel like you need more than a 2-ounce sample and you want to do 8 ounce or 1 pound, go for it. Like, by all means. If you know it's good, you trust us, you trust the reviews, or you just want more to play with, I totally understand. Order whatever you want. But my job here as a business owner isn't just to try to sell you product, right? It's to make you happy. I want you guys leaving satisfied. That includes our education, our resources, our recommendations, our referrals, and our own fragrance oils and other products. I want you all happy. You're not going to be happy if you commit to something and buy too much of it and then you don't enjoy it. So I always recommend start small, hopefully you guys enjoy it, and then you keep coming back. And if you do enjoy our fragrances, I would love for you to recommend us in other places, other groups, wherever you want. It means a lot, helps us grow, and helps us keep releasing awesome fragrance oils. Anyways, like I said, I've had a hard time choosing a favorite out of this, and that's probably the biggest compliment I can give this collection. So if you haven't checked them out yet, they are available now. Let me know in the comments which one's your favorite if you have tried them, and if not, which ones you're looking forward to trying the most. Also, many of you asked me, why do I release these videos weeks after we release the collection? That is intentional. I like to give some of the other influencers out there or some of the other fragrance reviewers out there, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook or everywhere else, I like to give them a chance first to give first impressions because I want you guys to trust the product. And if I just come out right out of the gate and say, oh, these amazing fragrances. I mean, I know you guys trust me, but I'm still biased. It's my product, right? I want you guys to hear it from someone else's mouth first. And I like to just give them the opportunity. Anyways, like I just enjoy that. I like seeing their take on it. You know, I've been working on these for months and months and months. Like I know what I smell. I'm already used to it. I like hearing another perspective. So that's why we do that. Anyways, thanks for watching as always. Give this video a thumbs up. Check out the sample collection on the website. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time. Thanks.